And Mental Health Awareness Week starts every year on the second Monday in May. In 2018, this year, that will be from 14th to the 20th of May. In a world that is increasingly opening up to and understanding those with mental health issues, it's no surprise that Mental Health Awareness Week is now a firm fixture on calendars around the UK and beyond. It's organised by the Mental Health Foundation and focuses on a major issue each and every year. This year, Mental Health Awareness Week has been focused on stress. Research has shown that 16 million people experience a mental health problem each year, explains the Mental Health Foundation, and stress is a key factor in this. As part of its attempts to further open dialogue about mental health, the Foundation has organised a so-called Curry and Chat initiative, where people get together with friends and enjoy their company over a curry, also raising money for good causes at the same time. Look out for details of a Curry and Chat event near you. I recently met up with Dianne Murray, who is organising one near me here in the Scottish borders. Now she explains some of the background to it.
My name's Dianne Murray and I'm the local area coordinator for mental health, and I work in the eastern side of the borders for Scottish Borders Council, and our role is really to help people identify with things in the community that they can be involved in that might improve their mental health and wellbeing. As part of local area coordination for mental health in the eastern side of the borders, we're really aware that often people are very isolated due to their mental health issues, and isolation can be in many forms, and it's usually thought of just being sort of geographical isolation because we live in a very rural part of the country, but actually people can be in the middle of a busy town and still experience isolation. So as part of our program to just try and increase the awareness of mental health, we're just using the Mental Health Foundation's great resource that they have for this year during Mental Health Awareness Week, which is the idea of a curry and a chat. And so we've teamed up with Café, which is a great community cafe in Roxburgh Street in Kelso, and we're going to be offering a range of curries on the night of the 16th of May. That's Wednesday the 16th of May between 6:30 and 8:30. And the idea is that we get people from the local Kelso community to come and just be a bit more informed about mental health, but also just get the opportunity to talk to others who are either experiencing mental health issues themselves or are caring for people who are experiencing mental health issues. And actually, when we talk about caring for people with mental health issues, often it's those who are on the side of, say, family members or friends who feel really ill-equipped actually to deal with what they're seeing and experiencing in loved ones, and often it's them themselves that need a little bit of support. So the idea of doing something over food is always a great idea because food really connects us. It gives us a chance to eat together, to be together. It's very informal, and I think something really magical happens over food in a way that it doesn't when we're just sort of sitting face to face. So food is a great way. There's going to be a range of curries, as I say, so you don't need to worry about not liking curry because there'll be some mild ones and some hot ones, and it's a bit like life actually, curry, I think. A bit like mental health actually, because we've got what people would maybe call mild mental health issues. We're all on a continuum somewhere with our mental health, and then things can really hot up sometimes in life, I think, where we have maybe something more significant in circumstances in our lives, so bigger stresses in life that can trigger something in our mental health where we don't feel as resilient or as able to deal with life. And other times we can be ticking away quite nicely and our mental health can be quite good. So mental health is this continuum where at any given time we might be doing better or not so good.
So, what can you expect should you decide to go along to the Curry and Chat event in Café U in Kelso?
So the idea on Wednesday the 16th is that people come in, there's going to be food available, and it's going to be a very informal night. We're going to eat together, and then we're going to have just a little bit of guided discussion really around what keeps us mentally healthy, and we're going to hopefully be resourced by one another. There is some information put out by the Mental Health Foundation that suggests that there's 10 things that can improve our mental health, and we're going to be looking at some of those. But what we're really hoping is that actually people will people tell their story about the things that have improved their mental health so that they can actually share that with each other. So it's an incredibly informal night. It's not about us coming in with, follow these 10 things and life will be all rosy. It's about actually saying, when the rubber hits the road, what are the things that actually make a difference for you? And we're hoping that people will just share as openly as they feel able. So there'll be a bit of structure on the night where we'll help and guide you through some of your discussions, but we're hoping that you'll resource each other, and on the night there'll be just lots of great conversation. And it might also be a chance for people to think about what's out there in the Kelso community that they could draw on. So that might be other people, it might be other groups, it might be things that they've never heard of, that might be a hobby or an interest. So something in the community that's going on that actually they could be resourced by that they don't already know about. And we don't really know what else is going to happen on the night. The good thing about it is that we're really open to ideas about what could be built by local people in the local Kelso community to improve the lives of people in Kelso.
What if you're feeling anxious about meeting up with strangers at this Curry and Chat event next Wednesday? Or indeed any of the other events being organised around the country? Or possibly you feel that there's no need for you to go along, it's just not for you.
We totally recognise that often the biggest barrier for people is getting over the door. So getting out of the house and maybe into an environment like a cafe can actually be an enormous hurdle in itself. When you're at your lowest, when perhaps your mental health is at a really low ebb, that's maybe the time where you're least likely to get out. So we really want to encourage people who maybe know of somebody like that, who could do with a helping hand, with that personal invitation to say, come and chum me along to this evening. People are not going to be made to talk, they're not going to be made to share, but they might just really value listening and being listened to. And we know that that's one of the most fundamental things that can resource us with our mental health, to be listened to as human beings.
Many thanks to Dianne for talking about the Curry and Chat event in Café U in Kelso on Wednesday the 16th of May. And you can hear more about mental health in my very special Mental Health Awareness Week show. That's Views from the Edge, week beginning 14th of May on Mad Wasp Radio, TD1 Radio and North Highland Radio.